Northern Cali born and raised, real shark about that tank. We go hard up in the paint and spin them blocks, they said we can't. Talking all that tough shit, don't end up in a casket. Glock up on my hip, be the only thing that's plastic. Hit him in the belly, guarantee that boy gon' fall. It don't matter who you body, you still a ratchet.
What's cracking with the gente on YouTube, man? Thank you guys for tapping back in, showing love, showing support, all that good stuff. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way and leave a comment down under. Subscribe if you have not already. And as you guys can see through the title and the thumbnail, man, today's topic, we got a good one. We got a hood profile. Vario Horseshoe, Norteños out of San Jose, the oldest neighborhood in San Jose. And from what I hear, I'm not sure if this is completely true or not. I can't stamp this 100%. But I've heard for a long time that Horseshoe is the oldest Norteño neighborhood in Northern California. If this is true, let me know in the comment section. If it's false, also let me know in the comment section. But from my understanding right now is what I've heard. That's just what I've heard. Like I said, I can't stamp it. So I thought it was interesting, and I thought it was a good idea to speak on it because Horseshoe is a neighborhood that was really, really big back in the days in San Juan, obviously before my time, but it's not really as big anymore, and that's not even throwing shots or nothing like that. It's just not as big as it used to be. You know, I've heard stories about how damn near the whole West Side was Horseshoe. You know what I'm saying? But the origins come from Southern California, so I wanted to speak a little bit about that, and then I'll get into the whole Vario Horseshoe in San Jose, right? So real quick. Horseshoe Rivera is the original. It's the original neighborhood of Horseshoe, which is why the name Horseshoe derives. The neighborhood is shaped obviously like a horseshoe. So the neighborhood of Horseshoe Rivera was, I guess you could say, founded, created, discovered in the late 40s to the early 50s. You know, everybody knows Southern California neighborhoods, a lot of them date back to like the late 1800s and the early 1900s. You know what I'm saying? There's neighborhoods from the 20s, the 10s, the 19s, the 1890s. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but there's a lot of neighborhoods that are very, very old, and Horseshoe is one of those neighborhoods that date back to, again, the 40s, the late 40s, early 50s. So, you know, they're located in the city of Pico. I believe Pico Rivera, which is, I'm sure, why it's called Horseshoe Rivera. But yeah, so there it's in the middle of the war zone, I guess you could say, because it's in the middle of, I want to say it's Barrio Pico Nuevo, Barrio Pico Viejo, and there's one other neighborhood that I don't know why I can't think of the name right now. I can't think of it. But it's in the middle of those two neighborhoods, and those neighborhoods have a crazy beef that dates back to I don't know when, but it's crazy. And Horseshoe doesn't get along with either of the two, so obviously why I say it's a war zone. So Horseshoe, Southern California. That's, you know what I'm saying, the little history I have for you guys. If you want more about that neighborhood, let me know. I might tap in with some older homies that know more about that. And, you know what I'm saying, I'll ask them to give me a little bit of information, and I'll drop the video for you guys. But fast forward to the 70s now. So fast forward to the 70s, like I said, the neighborhood of Horseshoe was brought to Northern California by a family. It was, I want to say it was 2 to 3 brothers, which, funny enough, were born in Mexico, relocated to Southern California, and then relocated to Northern California, to San Jose. The West Side being, you know what I'm saying, maybe the rent was cheaper. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that information for you, but they relocated to the West Side. They were Southsiders, they were Surenos, they were homies, and I say that because in the 70s, it was already, you know, there was already tension and whatnot. It's common knowledge, right? I'll say that much. But it was tagged up in those days, in the 70s, as HS13. It wasn't VHS yet. It wasn't Vario Horseshoe yet. It was just HS Horseshoe 13. It wasn't even Horseshoe Rivera 13 when they were hitting it up. It was just, again, HS13. And again, it was brought by brothers who, I guess with time, ended up making friends who, you know, were Chicanos and some Paisanos, actually. There were some Paisanos who, you know, just, I guess, created the movement of the Horseshoe up north. And it spread like wildfire because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. From what I've been able to gather, Horseshoe was known to, like I said in the beginning, be a big ass neighborhood. I'm talking about damn near the whole west side was Horseshoe, right? And you know what I'm saying. You fast forward to when it was West Side Mob, which I believe West Side Mob was not called West Side Mob in the beginning. I can't remember what. I think it was like Vario Libre or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's Vario Libre. Once they, you know what I'm saying, made their presence known, um, they started giving Horseshoe a hard time. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows about them, the Horseshoe and the West Side Mob. Yes, both Norteños. Um, they had their issues, and they were big issues. It was not no little, you know what I'm saying, little, little fights and stuff. Yeah, obviously there was fights, but that hood drama was, it was deep. So Horseshoe lost a lot of its I guess you could say territory to West Side Mob. And I guess you could say that beef is the main reason why Horseshoe lost a lot of its territory. But then came the upstate Sureños, which, yes, I know there it was not called an upstate Sureño back then. It was just Sureños, right? Once Sureños started relocating to Northern California, or not relocating, but once the homies from down south relocated up north and started recruiting, as just like anybody else, they started establishing neighborhoods, which from, you know what I'm saying, I have seen videos on YouTube where the Northerners do claim that, like, the Northerners weren't paying attention to the Sureños, which is why they weren't able to kind of slow down the process of them getting territories in their neighborhoods. But I'm just gonna say, you know what? War is war. Horseshoe was going at it with the mob. The mob was going at it with Horseshoe. And then came Clanton and SSP. Clanton and SSP were also a very big reason as to why Horseshoe lost a lot of territory. So you got to think about it like this. If it's one neighborhood in the whole West Side, obviously people who grow up in the West Side are more, they kind of like a magnet, they pull to that neighborhood. Nobody's going to try to start another neighborhood, right? Well, I'm not going to say nobody because it did happen. But for the majority, most people ended up being from Horseshoe. But like I said, came West Side Mob, so the numbers started, I'm not going to say they died out for Horseshoe, but obviously numbers jumped, excuse me, from Horseshoe to the mob, right? And again, then came Clanton and SSP, which also took numbers from West Side Mob and Horseshoe. So throughout the years, I did start seeing Horseshoe started declining. Don't get me wrong, there's still people from Horseshoe to this day, but the neighborhood is no longer, I'm not going to say no longer, but it's not as big as it used to be by any means. For the most part, you'll see OGs from Horseshoe, from Vario Horseshoe, right? You'll see the veteranos, you know what I'm saying, the old school cholos. You'll see them, but like youngsters, you won't really see youngsters from Horseshoe. I'm seeing now I guess I see them like on the internet, like I'll see them comment on my YouTube videos and whatnot, but that's the internet. I can't tell you that, what I'm saying, they're in their neighborhood doing what they do, like, because I don't really go to the West Side like that. But from what I see, there are a few more youngsters claiming Horseshoe, but not to the extent where I would hear about them all the time. The more prevalent one is always gonna, well, I'm not gonna say always, but the more prevalent neighborhood of Norteños is West Side Mob. I will say that. But yeah, man. So again, I thought it was interesting, the fact that Horseshoe is, what I'm saying, it's, like I said, I can't stamp this, but the oldest Norteño neighborhood in Northern California, definitely in San Jose. That definitely. But the origins come from Southern California, which it's not nothing new. You know what I'm saying? There is other neighborhoods that obviously have origins to Southern California, but this is like the more, I guess, known one. Like, I know there's a Colonia Maravilla, which obviously no longer is called Colonia Maravilla. That's Capitol Park locals, but from what I heard, that the Maravillas had something to do with Colonia Maravilla. There's a few neighborhoods of Norteños that have ties to, or not ties, my bad, I don't want to say ties, but they have origins from Southern California, which, hey, if you guys want to hear about that, let me know. I will make a video about what Norteño neighborhoods have origins from Southern California, which, again, I think is interesting. I do feel like there's a good bunch of you that, would be entertained by that topic. So let me know in the comment section if you guys, if you guys would enjoy that. Then I'll start doing my homework. I'll start doing my thing, talking to people, asking questions, and seeing, what I'm saying, what is what, and well, I'll get the ball rolling on that, basically. But hey, if you guys have any information on a certain neighborhood that you guys want me to do, hey, look, look, I get a lot of requests like, oh, do this neighborhood, do that neighborhood, do my neighborhood, and it's like, okay, look, I can do all those things. The thing is, make it easier on me. Because I don't know every single neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I don't know every single history to every single hood. If you guys want me to do your neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? Just hit me with the DM on Instagram. Like I said, um, I'll work on it. I'll do my homework and whatnot. But again, to make it easier on me, if it's your neighborhood or whatever, or you got a tío, you got a dad, you got a grandpa, whatever it is, anybody from that neighborhood, reach out on Instagram. It's Upstate POV. Reach out, you know what I'm saying? And then I could get the ball rolling, like I said, get things done, have more content for you guys, and I'll get the content flowing because I have plenty. I'm talking about plenty of videos that I have to drop. But hey, it's never bad to have, you know what I'm saying, some in the vault waiting to be posted. I do have some hood profiles that I'm gonna be dropping too that I already have recorded. But again, there's a lot of things that go on YouTube that something pops up, so I'm like, okay, now let me make a video on that, and I gotta put other videos that were already scheduled to drop. I'm like, all right, let me put that for another day. Let me drop this, and let me, you know what I'm saying? YouTube is it's not tricky, but it's just the way YouTube is. Sometimes you gotta put videos in the back pocket because certain things pop up. But yeah, like I said, if for whatever reason you want one done, because I know there's this homie that I don't want to put his business out there, but he's like, hey, do a video on my neighborhood. It's whoop de whoop, and I'm like, hey, that's cool. I'll do it for you, but I don't know much about your neighborhood to speak on it like that. But I mean, shit, get at me. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to do it. But yeah, man. So with that being said, I appreciate your time. I appreciate all the support, like I've been saying. Um, that's the end of the video, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. Leave a comment down under. Subscribe if you have not already. Let me know what it is, what it ain't, and what it could be. Nah, but yeah, man. So like I said, just do all those things. Appreciate all the support. Tapping out. You guys already know the goal is to make it out the hood, not stay in it. And I'm gone, man. Alright.